Well, thanks for joining us here on KREM 2. We are under a weather impact alert because of the widespread smoke that we are seeing, leading to some unhealthy to very unhealthy air quality levels across the inland Northwest. So, we are going to be under this weather impact alert through today and through at least tomorrow because of these deteriorating air quality conditions. When we experience unhealthy air quality, that's when it impacts everyone, especially sensitive groups here. But everyone during this time should work to limit their time outdoors and also avoid any outdoor strenuous activities. Taking a look here at our latest air quality, we can see all the areas shaded in red under that unhealthy air quality category. But we've been back and forth between very unhealthy. We're seeing that right now up toward Omak and just southeast of Wenatchee. And when we compare this across the country, it's actually some of the worst air quality in the United States. So this is definitely something that is impacting all of the population for the inland Northwest. We have these widespread air quality alerts currently in place, and they're actually going to be in place until further notice as conditions are consistently evaluated. Of course, the thing we're monitoring closely has to do with our winds. So our winds to start off this new work week are very, very light, much lighter compared to what we saw over this last weekend, which is great for firefighting efforts. However, it's why all of the smoke from these local fires is just kind of building up and staying pretty stagnant over us. Here's one model's forecast of how these light northerly winds, though, are going to push some of this wildfire smoke. So fast forwarding, these winds again out of the north have the potential of giving us some better conditions up toward northeast Washington and through the North Idaho panhandle. But areas to the south of where fires are burning, including into parts of downtown Spokane, are expecting to see even some heavier and more intense smoke by this late afternoon and into this early evening. Conditions still going to be dealing with that widespread smoke through tomorrow as well. Here's another model's forecast of what we're going to see when it comes to some of this smoke activity near the surface. And this is what actually ends up directly impacting our air quality readings when we share those with you. So moving forward into this afternoon, again, we can see that that smoke intensifies through parts of Spokane. It does get a little bit better, though, in northeast Washington, Sandpoint. Still going to see haze over in Coeur d'Alene, but they see some improvements. The major concerns are going to be because of fires in central Washington, up toward the Okanagan Valley, through central Washington near Wenatchee, and then, of course, in the Spokane area. Smoke, unfortunately, looks to intensify through this evening, especially down through Spokane South Hill and into the Palouse. Watching tomorrow morning, a little bit of a shift in the winds here coming out of the northeast could push some of that smoke further to the southwest of where fires are burning. But it's going to be a couple of days here where we're dealing with this intense smoke. Taking a look at our wind speeds, light across eastern Washington and through North Idaho. So that's kind of the best news when it comes to local firefighting efforts. It still has been a little bit breezy out toward Omak and parts of the Okanagan Valley. We'll continue to keep an eye on that specifically. But moving forward and taking a look at our future wind gusts here, I mean, we're only maybe going to see gusts near 10 to 15 miles per hour in Spokane, but that means our sustained winds are coming in even lighter. So that's the good news on the wind front. Of course, it's more of a double-edged sword because it means a lot of that smoke from the fires is going to stay stagnant, unfortunately, worsening our air quality. We are preparing for an extended stretch here of dry conditions. We saw really no measurable precipitation at the Spokane International Airport for the entire month of July. And now we've entered August, which is also one of our driest months for the inland Northwest. So clear skies. We continue to be dry overnight tonight and through Tuesday. Something to note is our relative humidity levels are going to drop yet again this afternoon down into the teens, indicating some very dry conditions. Unfortunately, that means our fuels and the fuels around fires, the vegetation, just continues to get drier and drier as we aren't going to see any precipitation here in sight through our extended forecast. Temperatures this afternoon, we're looking at highs in the upper 70s for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, some low 80s out in central Washington. But the one note on this is some of the thicker haze and smoke that we've been seeing actually puts a little bit of a damper on some of this heat. So our actual temperatures are coming in a bit under where we're forecasting lasting because of that heavy smoke. Of course, that could change just depending on the amount of smoke that is staying stagnant, but we're looking at some of those slightly cooler temperatures. They are cooler than average for this time of year, so that kind of helps with the firefighting effort. As we move forward and take a look at your temperatures overnight tonight, we are falling into the low 40s for areas like St. Mary's, looking at some low 50s for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. And again, anytime we can see some cooler temperatures and those lighter winds, that is a benefit to the local firefighting efforts that we currently have. Taking a look at our weather pattern as we move forward, high pressure is going to build for us in the coming days and through the end of the week. So we are looking at temperatures starting to climb Thursday, headed into Friday. Like I said, it is a dry, extended forecast here ahead of us. We're under a weather impact alert through at least Tuesday because of the unhealthy air quality. One thing to note, and we're still a few days out from this, but Friday into Saturday, we could see our winds start to pick up to breezy levels again. Of course, it's still early on. It's something we have to monitor closely. And we did experience some breezy winds on Sunday. So right now things are looking like they could be comparable to that both Friday and Saturday. But it will be a important thing to note as we move forward and those crews continue to fight the Spokane area fires that are just continuing to impact the community. So we'll keep a close eye on that. If you don't have to be outside today under the unhealthy air quality, it is advised that you try and spend as much time indoors. Make sure you have a clean air environment, and we'll continue to bring you updates here on KREM 2.